Hey everybody, welcome back. So I admit I am coming up a bit blank on these carburetor spacers. Not exactly blank, just not with anything that makes me very happy. I cannot find a 3/8 one that I think is of any kind of sort of quality to replace this broken factory one. The half-inch ones, and I've already bought it and ordered another half-inch one and returned it. They do not fit right for a number of different reasons. And in order to use a half-inch one, I'd have to change the studs. I wouldn't be too, I wouldn't object too much to aluminum ones, but the whole idea of the spacer is to thermally isolate the carburetor from the cast iron manifold. And an aluminum one's not going to do that. I've decided to try and print one. I have Sirayatech Fibreheart PAHT or PPA. It is a nylon blend, which properly annealed, I would think would be fine for this. It is not carbon fiber or glass fiber filled. I don't know that that really makes that big of a difference for here. And I also ordered a small spool, a 500 gram spool of PA12 carbon fiber. But I'm going to try the Fibreheart PAHT, not glass filled, first and see how it turns out and what I think. So here it is printing in the Sirayatech Fibreheart PAHT or PPA, whichever they want to call it. So far it seems to be working good, even though I forgot to put the outer brim on it. I'm not seeing any warping, and as you can see, I've got 280 degrees nozzle temperature and 100 degrees bed temperature, and seems to be doing pretty good so far. So there is the finished part. Funny enough, I don't really believe that I needed the draft shield, but I put it there just in case because it was recommended to me, and I don't see any warpage, and I did think I needed the brim and I forgot it. I was going to put a 5 or 6 loop brim on it, and I completely forgot it, but I'm not seeing any warpage at the corners. But I'm going to let it sit in here and cool off for maybe an hour before I take it out, and then we'll see how badly it shrunk, if it still fit, and then we'll think about annealing it. The part printed perfectly with no warp, and the top layers look great. Really happy with the way it printed, and it shrunk about 1.5%. Which it still kind of fits. I had made it a little bit bigger. Not quite that much. I probably should have made it a little bigger, but it still does fit if you wiggle it and tap it a bit. But now I got to anneal it, and it's going to shrink even more in annealing. So I've got the oven set at 200 degrees, and it's in there on a piece of ceramic floor tile, and that's where it's going to stay for the next 3 to 4 hours, and I'll test it again. So here is my final printed part. I annealed it for about 4.5 hours at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, what is that, 95, 97 C, something like that, I don't know. As you can see, it turned out pretty darn nice. That is the bed side, that is the top side. There was no warping at all, even despite the fact that I forgot the brim, which is kind of annoying, but still no warpage at all. Unfortunately, I made it about 1 to 1.5 millimeters bigger than I needed it to allow for shrinkage, which was nearly the perfect amount. Probably could have used another 0.5 millimeter, but it still fit. But I forgot to allow for shrinkage during annealing, which was about another 1.5 millimeters in overall size. So it did not fit. And I don't know if you can tell it, but I just took my file and I slightly slotted those holes out. It did not take much. It only took probably 15 passes, 10, 15 passes with a coarse round file in each hole. And now it fits pretty good. You got to get it straight, but it fits pretty good. Where's the top gasket? Here's the top gasket. So I don't see that that's going to be a problem at all. Now, what I forgot, I always forget at least one thing. In this case, 2 or 3. But you got to if you're gonna take it off, you gotta come up perfectly or near perfectly vertically with it. I need a hole in it to put something in to pull vacuum out of the back for the transmission vacuum modulator. I'm not even sorry I forgot to make the hole. I think I'll drill that and then like JB weld a brass connector in it, something like that. I don't think that's going to be a problem considering how many wall loops and top and bottom layers this part has. Anyway, I'm very happy with it. I did go ahead and get the PA12 glass fiber or PA12 carbon fiber filament, but I think I'm going to see if this won't work and work fine first. I just don't see this getting all that terribly hot, but we shall see. So when this part came off the printer, it was flat, but when I annealed it, it warped. And when I put it on a flat, well, of course, this tile is probably the flattest thing I own. When I put it down there, I had about maybe a 1/16, maybe 3/32 gap. So I put it here on the tile and I've been sanding it on both sides. And considering I've got 5 upper and 5 lower layers and what did I do, 5 or 6 walls, I'm really not that concerned about compromising its integrity. And now I'm down to where well under a 1/16. I would have to use feeler gauges to tell the difference. And you know, considering there's going to be thick gaskets on both sides and a torque amount of some degree, I think that's fine for this. I can hook my my smoke leak detector up to it and I could see if it's leaking and that would tell me. But I think honestly, I think this is probably as good as the commercial cheap ones I've been buying, it probably better. So if I had to do it over again, rather than sand it, when I annealed it, I would probably, where is it? I would probably put another tile on top of it like that, and then some weights like these little lead ingots like that on top of it, and anneal it like that, and then let it cool like that, and I bet it probably wouldn't warp. But I didn't think of that, and I didn't do it, so you know what? It is what it is. I have this to work with, and I think that's where we're going. I have drilled a pilot hole through one end, and I have some 3/16 fittings. Why I made the hole so big, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna fill it with JB weld anyway. So here is the finished part, or at least I hope it gets the finished part. I don't know that it's gonna get any flatter. I don't know that rubbing it around on sandpaper is gonna help. Not sure if I can show you what's going on here, but as you can see, as far as you want to consider this floor tile to be flat, it is very flat this way. There might be a 1/64 of an inch in the center that's up, but it takes very, very little pressure to flatten that. The other side, however, and I don't know how much of a difference this makes, but you can see how much the ears have lifted. There's really nothing I can do about that, and I'm not sure how much difference that's going to make when I tighten it. I mean, it's just one side. So I think what I'm going to do is part of me just says go ahead and print another one, and this time make sure you're keeping pressure on it to keep it flat while you anneal it. And part of me says put it on and smoke test it. And I think I'm going to do the latter. Let's put it on and smoke test the thing and see if it leaks. So I want to try and be consistent as I test this. So I'm going to do things I normally don't do. Hey, I'm not going to put any sealer on it. I'm also going to do another thing I never do, and that's torque the nuts down. I have an inch-pounds torque wrench, so I'm hoping that will work for me, but let's go with my spacer. That slides down nice. Let's put another gasket on it. That seems to go down good. And we'll slip this carb back on. There we go. So I got my little inch-pounds torque wrench out. Normally, I wouldn't even bother torquing carburetor base nuts. I'd just do it by hand and guess. This should be 10 to 12 foot-pounds. I have an inch-pounds torque wrench. I'm going to start with half of that because this is a 3D printed spacer. And so I have this set to 60 inch-pounds, which is going to be 5 foot-pounds. And then after I tighten it, we'll smoke test it. Click, 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 click. All right, we are torqued down. Okie doke, I believe I am on and ready to go. I have a newly printed cap for the carburetor. I printed a gasket out of 85 durometer black TPU, and that all fits nice and snug. I have the smoke machine connected to the carburetor spacer that I just made with the brass fitting in it. I think that's probably the best place for it. All right, let's get it turned on and let's get smoke pumping out and let's see what happens. And smoke is gonna go on. I think I am at minimum smoke there, but the machine's got to warm up a little bit, so we'll let that happen. And I have a flashlight which hopefully will let me see smoke. Let's turn the smoke up. To about there, maybe. This thing pumps smoke out pretty fast, usually. Well, you see, we got it coming out of there, so I was expecting smoke out of the throttle shafts, and I'm not seeing it, amazingly enough. Let's open the throttle wide. I'm seeing something over here. Take the light with me. Sometimes the light helps and sometimes it makes it worse. I'm seeing smoke is coming right out of the top of there. That doesn't bother me. That is not coming out of the carburetor base. That's coming all out of right up in here. Nothing out of the back. Shockingly enough, nothing out of the throttle shafts. That surprises me. Let's turn the smoke all the way to max. Still nothing out of the base that I can see anywhere. All that out of this side. That's all coming right at the very top. When you have that much smoke coming out, it's hard to clear it, but that's all coming right out of here. Like there's a hole or something in there. All right, nothing's coming out of the base, so I'm happy. So let's turn the smoke off. And we will disconnect it from power. So just curious as to where all that smoke over here was coming from. It wasn't coming out of my cap or my gasket there. It was coming out of where this choke rod goes through. There is a little gasket in there, but of course it can't really fit tight because of how it has to move around. So the base is not leaking. I am very happy with that. That means next step is, I'm just going to put that back on there so it doesn't get broken or smashed or warped. Next step is going to be start it up, warm it up, and see how that carburetor runs, and B, how well my 3D printed carb spacer lasts. Anyway, thanks for watching. In the next video, we will test it out further. Bye for now.